My project's on the movie Spotlight from 2015. The movie Spotlight follows a team of journalists from the Boston Globe that are assigned to investigate allegations against a local Catholic priest who has been accused of molesting more than 80 boys. It follows the journalists through their pursuit of finding the truth and uncovering the truth about sexual abuse within the Roman Catholic Church that has been brushed under the rug. The main theme of the movie is sexual abuse and trauma. When digging deeper, the movie portrays the importance of journalism, a communication style in itself, and the power of organized religion, another type of communication style. The movie portrays the invisible power of the church and how it uses that power to control the narrative. The main characters, the team of journalists, are a group of people that seem to spend more time with one another than they do with their own families. For most of the movie, the cast is immersed in work rather than their personal lives. We are giving minimum details on each character's life. The main character, Michael Resendez, played by Mark Ruffalo, is in a marriage that is on the rocks while simultaneously being changed personality-wise by the case itself. Each character throughout the film expresses themselves differently as the truth continues to be uncovered. They show a very real portrayal of journalists, including the vanity, heroism, and screwing up that good journalists go through to complete an investigation. Intercultural communication is the ability to communicate with people from different cultures by understanding and navigating the differences in how people from different cultures interact and communicate. In the context of the movie, the different cultures are shown through the different neighborhoods and how they interact with the church. Uncertainty avoidance describes the extent to which the members of a culture feel threatened by uncertain or unknown situations, which will be discussed later. The soul of the movie is Boston. The different neighborhoods are seen as entirely different worlds themselves. Within these neighborhoods, there are clear class divides presented. Predator priests often worked in low-income neighborhoods and preyed on young boys who needed father figures. The ease to which these priests were allowed to do this were based off the trust that the community had in the church. In the video about to be shown, uncertainty avoidance can be seen through the conversation being had about the community and the church.
You know, you get a lot of people here respect you, Bobby. The work you do. That's good to know. You know, it's because you care about this place. It's why you do what you do. It's who you are. And when people need the church more than ever right now, you know, you can feel it. And the cardinal, he might not be perfect. But we can't throw out all the goodies to a few bad apples. Now, you know, I'm bringing this up to you because I know this is Barron's idea, his agenda. I'm going to tell you, I mean, honest to God, I mean, he doesn't care about the city the way we do. I mean, how could he?
This is how it happens, isn't it, Pete?
What's that?
Guy leans on a guy. Suddenly, the whole town just looks the other way.
Many would rather turn a blind eye to criminal activity happening in the church because it is easier. It is almost as if they don't address it, it does not exist. I think this is more prevalent in society than we think it is. It is easier to let things that are not affecting you go, even if it is criminal, because that is the easier and safer option. The community does not want to admit that the church and organized religion may not be everything it is said to be and actually hurting their community rather than supporting it. Again, everyone in the community knows each other. The cardinal knows the president and other administrators at the school. Community members know the priests, and lawyers and police are involved with the church. It is very obvious that the church has a very heavy presence in this community. The criminal activity that the church is involved in goes unpunished because of the different cultures within the community working together by turning a blind eye to uphold a positive image of the church. In the next video, the conversation explains how it is possible a community can let this go on for so long.
You're a new editor, you're a Jew, right?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Well, so he comes in and suddenly everybody's interested in the church. You know why? Because it takes an outsider like me. I'm Armenian. How many Armenians do you know in Boston?
Steve Kirchner works at the Globe.
Oh, that's two. You should get a prize or something. What are you, Italian?
Portuguese.
From where?
East Boston.
Really? East Boston? You don't sound like it. This city, these people, making the rest of us feel like we don't belong. But they know better than us. Look at how they treat their children. Mark my words, Mr. Resendez. If it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a village to abuse one. You knew it.
When an institution has a great amount of power over different groups in the community, the loyalty to that institution gives rise to a culture of secrecy that protects that institution. The quote, "It takes a village to raise a child," is vilified in this sense. People wonder how such a big institution like the Catholic Church can get away with this, but it takes an even greater group of people to cover it up and keep it secret. The community does most of the dirty work for the church in turn. We see the use of organizational communication in relation to the church itself and how it plays a part in the everyday life of Boston citizens and their reaction to the allegations. Throughout the movie, it becomes apparent that entire communities have been complicit in an unspoken crime. Organized religion is an integral part of American culture. The church dictates what is acceptable in society and explains how some people lead their lives. In the next video, it shows how much needs to be done in order to even make a little bit of difference in the Catholic Church and even bring awareness to what's happening to these children.
Why? That's why he had the reaction. He knew there were others.
I think that's the bigger story.
The numbers clearly indicate that there were senior clergy involved.
That's all they do. Indicate.
Are you telling me that if we run a store with 50 pedophile priests in Boston?
We'll get into the same cat fight you got into, which made a lot of noise, but changed things not one bit. We need to focus on the institution, not the individual priests. Practice and policy. Show me the church manipulated the system so that these guys wouldn't have to face charges. Show me they put those same priests back into parishes time and time again. Show me this was systemic, that it came from the top down.
Sounds like we're going after law.
Some people or institutions have more power than others in accordance to our reading on power distance. They are more able to determine the behavior of others than vice versa. The way that power is distributed is usually explained from the behavior of the more powerful members, the leaders, rather than those led. As said by Janet M. Bennett, the way authority survives only where it is matched by obedience. In the next video, it shows the first time the audience and journalists meet Cardinal Law.
But if I can be of any help, don't hesitate to ask. I find that this city flourishes when its great institutions work together.
Thank you. Personally, I'm of the opinion that for a best performance function, really needs to stand alone.
Of course. I think
This scene is an introduction to the power that the church holds over the community. To me, it seems as this conversation is a subtle threat from the cardinal to the journalists to stop digging. The church will go to many lengths to protect their own, even if it means covering up horrific crimes. Multiple scenes where the church is shown in the background or icons of religion, such as crosses, are shown in multiple different scenes that show the church's power and influence over the communities in Boston. So I had 3 closing questions. How can communities hold the church and perpetrators accountable in the future? What other powerful institutions hide sexual violence to maintain the face of the institution? And what makes the community members so protective of an institution's image?